says I have an excellent connection. I did a change or two.
That's quite a bit quiet frequency.
Yeah, it's good to know. Well, a very good evening, everybody. Boy, you can set your clocks, atomic clock even, to the start of our net. It is 5:15 p.m. and this is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David, ZMH286. And it is actually a decent night here. It's pretty cloudless, having had rain on and off all day. 17 degrees, but it's no wind. I don't know where the wind has gone. It's out there in the ocean, but it's been pretty calm in this part of the world for the last few days. The bar is 1013.8, went down and it's steady now. So pretty good, decent conditions, although needless to say, when I went down to the boat, it poured with rain. Well, there's been an in and an out up there at Opua. We had Breakaway arrive from French Polynesia, and a boat Inveroon, don't really know how to pronounce it, left for Fiji about lunchtime today. Into the Blue is still battling the southwest winds there to arrive back here, the old story with the southwester. 33.23 south they are, 176.13, but it's very light, 9 knots of westerly, so they're pretty hard on, but they must have the motor going. I think 6.9 on a course of 220. And who else is sort of heading away from our cold climate? Bagheera, making their way towards Mackay. I don't know why, what with spiders and snakes and jellyfish that kill you, but anyway, they're making pretty good progress. They're actually now 42 miles east-northeast of Norfolk at 2851 and 16710. Just plodding along, 4.5 on a course of 322. They've got very light northeast winds, so they won't be upset at all, I don't think. Just taking their time to do it sort of safely. US boat Destiny, it's a catamaran. They've got up to 29 degrees 49 and 175.54. Looks like they're going to Savu Savu. Good choice. They're doing 5.6 on a course of 034. So we've got Venture Lady about to arrive in Savu Savu from French Polynesia. So I think it will be probably another day. Gosh, hopefully they'll get in by Friday, but they still have to get around the bottom of Taveuni. So maybe tomorrow. They're doing 5.9 on a course of 247. And there's various boats now that you've got the go-ahead to go ashore in places. There's been quite a bit of movement. Windsong there is at Taveuni. I see Vingalot and Not Tied Down have gone south a bit from Wire. Quite a few boats around the Malolo Lailai Island area. Must be kite flying there. I see Fusio's there. And I've been wondering about the Lau group because there's one boat now from Malta, Vavu. It's a big cat. I'm not sure whether it might be just part of the Fiji scene, but it's at Tubu, or whatever it's pronounced. So there's plenty of opportunity for people. You can't go into Viti Levu if you didn't check in there, but at least you've got 332 other islands in Fiji to choose. So there's plenty of opportunity to discover something a bit different. Bit of news from Fiji, the Outrigger Beach Resort is to be used as a quarantine facility. It's got 160 rooms. That'll be good because it'll give at least 60 staff so far employment. They've all had their 2 doses of AstraZeneca. There's another 272 of them have had 1 dose. So that's going to relieve the pressure of the quarantine facilities in Viti Levu. they're still getting quite a few cases, 100 new cases a day, over 100 actually. So things have to be sort of kept available for people. So do make sure that you keep safe, follow the protocols with masks and distancing and so on, particularly those boats that arrived in Viti Levu. That's about it for what I've got here. I'm going to pass the microphone to David and see what he's got. I want laundry day tomorrow, please.
Laundry day? Oh. Laundry day tomorrow. Well, that guarantees rain. And hello again from the Gulf Harbor Radio Weather Desk. Again, we'll start with the Southwest Pacific synoptic picture, which is quite similar to yesterday's analysis. The New Zealand complex low continues to shift east with the main low over the Chathams. I shouldn't say the main low, one of the main lows. There's a number of them. That's why it's called a complex system. Anyway, that one's sitting over the Chathams. Another low part of the system lies to the south of French Polynesia. Actually, there's more than one center there. I think there's two centers there. North of New Zealand lies a very weak high pressure system. The central pressure is about 1020 millibar, 1020, 1020. Now this high ridges northwest with the axis pretty much over New Caledonia at this point in time. The next low that is going to enter the picture has left the coast of Australia. Remember, we talked about it yesterday if you were listening. I really did talk about it. That was pretty much over Sydney. Now it's just east of Sydney. And a number of troughs and a cold front run north from this system right up to the Coral Sea. This low is going to head, the low proper is going to head for New Zealand, and it's going to reach just west of 90 Mile Beach, the west side of the North Island, by, call it midday Sunday, the 20th, which we didn't want to hear because we have to, after we do our little shooting at the pistol float, we're heading south to Tauranga on Sunday, so hopefully the weather is not going to be too bad. Anyway, also by Sunday, I see very few isobars up in the tropics. So most of the island groups should enjoy fairly light air, and that goes from Niue, Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, maybe even New Caledonia. So very little in the way of isobaric compression. So it should be pretty nice for those that want to move around in light air. However, before that happens, this light air and nice calm weather, I'm afraid numerous troughs are going to plague the area. Today, as an example, two troughs lie over the Solomons, and another one runs from Tuvalu down to Wallis and Futuna. Then it takes a little bit of a curve up to affect the Samoa area, and then it goes eastward from there. Fiji does not escape either. A trough runs from, well, if you have a chart, it runs from about 30 south, 170 west from the low system that's down there. The trough runs north to Tonga, then it moves over eastern Fiji, affecting the Lau and Vanua Levu. So expect cloud and showers to affect the northern and the eastern parts of the group. And Fiji Met is basically saying the same thing. Winds should be, I would say, east, southeast, maybe southeast. Fiji Met calls off easterly quadrant, but that's close enough for government work, I suppose. Winds 15 to 20 knots. By Sunday, I expect to see easterlies finally, around 15 knots for the Lau group, but backing to northeast for Viti Levu and Kandavu. So a bit of a wind shift at that point in time. So that's about it for me. That's the big picture. So hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves up there, and I'll pass it over to Trish.
All right, and thank you for that. I didn't quite see that I'm going to have a successful day tomorrow. Every day it's been a little bit wet for doing anything that you really want to dry for down here. But hopefully it's filling up our dams. Okay, is there anybody wanting to add anything, ask anything, provide any information, or just say hello? Please call now. Well, hello, Charles. I hope you've had a lot of good exercise on the land and you're enjoying both the land and the water these days, over?
I certainly am. And apart from having to wear masks, like we've been on when we go ashore, when we are freely walking around and there's nobody around, of course we remove, but whenever we come into company, we keep everyone 6 feet social distance. It's all been fantastic and we're starting to interact with a few people, which has been quite pleasant. We're working our way fast back to a month or so to reprovision, and then we'll be going to the top of the power group, and then cross over into Honolulu. Anyway, so that's the plan. And so tomorrow, Monterey Island is our goal. Monterey Island for the day, and Moana Island for the night. So that's my news. Thank you, Patricia. This is the Stadium Deck of India October.
Yep, sounds like a good plan. Lots of activity. And yes, stay away from these kava drinking people. They are arresting a few people who are having little drinking sessions. I guess the whole sharing the kava bowl idea is gone for a bit. And although I do notice in New Zealand the Prime Minister still does the rub noses thing, which I think is a bit strange, given the need for decency. But however, no one asked my opinion. All right, have a good time there, and we'll keep track of you. Is there anybody else wanting to make contact? Please call.
Thank God for the Lord.
Gosh, without you, Charles, we wouldn't know whether the radio worked or not. All right, folks, thank you for, well, if you're there listening, if you want to get in touch with us on email, we are at ghradio@extra, which is just xtra.co.nz. I'd love to hear from you, particularly if your boats on land are looking to leave sometime in the weekend. I believe Moondust is looking to go. Boy, it's a real pain, isn't it, doing the COVID test, having to go to Kerikeri if you're up there and look at the weather and hope it doesn't change and then get moving. So have a good look at what's going on, and then we'll see if there's any boats heading off in the next week. We are going to Tauranga on Sunday, so as you know, there's no net on a Sunday, but we will be back on Monday, so that's not a problem. Okay, cheers everybody, and I hope you have a good evening. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David, and we are clear.